Hello friends, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm finally sitting down to do the long-awaited life update. I didn't want to post any other content until I posted this first because I have been gone for a very long time and without really meaning to be gone for as long as I was. I didn't realize it's been like 4 months. I am speaking into this microphone that's plugged into my phone right now because there's a lot of noises going on out here, so hopefully you can hear me well. I asked you on Instagram to send me some of your questions, and you guys really came in with some good questions. So the first question is super sweet, and it's, how are you doing? Several of you asked this question, and I really appreciate it. I guess it depends on the day. That's most of us, right? Probably all of us. I don't know. I'm trying to find things to be grateful for every day, because if I don't, I'm focusing on all of the wrong things that I can't control and that I can't fix. And at the end of the day, the only thing that I have control over is my own thoughts, my own actions. And so it's just kind of having that perspective shift, and I'm not always so great at it. One of you asked, what kind of abuse were you subject to from your ex? And I want to say that I have answered a lot of ex-husband related questions on my Instagram. If you're not following me yet over there, you should. I have it in a highlight on my page. It literally says divorce Q&A. So you can go over there and click that, and I'm answering a lot of the questions that I was asked that pertain to him, but I don't want to talk about him throughout the duration of this video. So this is the only question I'm going to answer. Emotional, spiritual, financial, verbal, physical. I wasn't beaten, and so often I think people view abuse as, oh, she was beaten. I was not beaten. There were no visible bruises or scars on me to show that I was abused. And there's a lot of people walking amongst us right now that you know personally that are going through abuse, and it's the same thing. It's a lot easier to slip under the cracks when you don't see those things every day. What is one of the biggest things that you have unlearned during your healing process? What a good question. I've been thinking about this question, and I feel like there's a lot of things. So maybe I'll do a separate video of just this. Gosh, these cars are so loud. My boyfriend would love this, but I don't. One of the biggest things that I feel like I've had to wrestle with and learn from is that timelines don't matter. And what I mean by that is, I think a lot of us in our heads have this like specific way of how we want things to go down and where we envision ourselves to be at a certain age, and life just does not work out like that. And also too, I got married at 19, so I was super young, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, when I'm 49, I will have my 30th wedding anniversary. And to go from that, knowing that I was always going to be married the longest out of all my friends, I don't know why I thought that was a flex, but I just really loved that, to all of a sudden, oh, now I'm single and I'm back at 0. That was kind of a big thing for me. It just felt weird, and it challenged my beliefs about marriage and longevity. Like, just because somebody has been married for 70 years doesn't mean they're happily married, and just because somebody's been married for 1 year doesn't mean they're less married if they haven't been together as long, if that makes sense. Or even people who choose not to get married at all. A lot of you want to know how my job is and what field it is in. So back in May, I started a new job. I work at a foster care agency, and I am their social media coordinator. So right now it is part-time, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I had to go through all the training that everybody else goes through when you work in foster care, and oh my, it was a lot of heavy material, but really good. And then there's been parts of me that are like, should I be a social worker? I don't know. I'm challenging those thoughts. I have the same thoughts about whether or not to be a therapist. It's like trying to separate those things from your day-to-day life, and I feel like that'd be a struggle, but people do it all the time, so I don't know. But as far as my job right now, yeah, I just do like the social media stuff. I love it because I'm able to make a difference, and I'm also able to be creative, and I think that's like the best of both worlds for me personally. I'm still learning so much about foster care, so for all of you out there who are like seasoned foster care parents, or you've worked in the foster care world, I would love to learn from you. Like, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I love learning people's stories and hearing these points of view. And it's something that I feel like I have to tread very delicately when it comes to social media, because you can't do like the same social media trends that you'd be able to do. Like for me personally, the things that I would do with social media, I'm not going to do that for foster care. You know what I mean? I just feel like it's a very sensitive thing and it needs to be respected as such. How is grandma doing? It's been a rough last few months for grandma. She does have dementia, and I feel like it has gotten worse. It's hard to know if it's worse or better, because some days she's really like sharp and she's really there, and then other days she's not. She's very disconnected. She doesn't remember anything I've said. You know, for those of you that have experienced a loved one who has dementia, you get it. Luckily, she still knows who I am. She still knows who my family is. She struggles with people's names sometimes, but she knows us. Like, we're not at that point where she doesn't recognize us, and I know when it gets to that point, it's going to be really tough. Now, my grandpa on my other side of the family, he also has dementia right now, and that has been so hard for my family. I have 3 grandparents right now whose health are just kind of declining, and it's so tough for like my family. It makes you feel hopeless, like you wish there was something you could do, and it's a lot when it's all at once. So that's been hard. But as far as grandma goes, I mean, she has a companion that comes over every week through Silver Key Senior Services. If you've heard of them, they are so wonderful. Such a great nonprofit. There's somebody that comes over every week and hangs out with her and spends time with her, and it's great. And she has a pretty good social life. She has friends that come in and visit her, and it's just a struggle for her every day. She doesn't really want to be here anymore, and that's hard, but I understand at the same time. Did you get the approval to be a paid caregiver? No, I did not. We have now been rejected 3 times for benefits through the state. We did have another organization step in, and they usually charge about $10,000 per case, but they saw the lack of funds that not only my grandma has, but that I have, being her caretaker, and so they took on her case pro bono. They are angels over there. So they're still trying to get her on Medicaid. That's like the first piece of it, and that's like the part that takes the longest, because you have to wait for government things, and that doesn't go in a fast timeline. So I have hope that it's going to be better this time. It's going to run more smoothly this time because we do have the help, but we'll see. Somebody asked, how are you in Austin? Great. He's so great. I was just talking to him on the phone before I filmed this, and I was saying, I really try not to put you on a pedestal, because I know that nobody is perfect and nobody gets it right all of the time. But I'm like, you are so close to perfect though, just so you know. And he's like, oh, I feel the same way about you. I mean, we've almost been together now for 2 years and a couple weeks. It's like our official anniversary. The way he still gives me butterflies, and the way I still feel for him, and it all just feels like we just met still. It's weird. It feels like I've known him my whole life, but then it feels like we've just met, because everything is still very exciting and fresh and new. And I just look forward to our future so much. It makes me so excited to think about. How did you meet Austin? So we have an entire video that we did together about, I don't even know now, 8 months ago maybe, where we answer all of those questions. So I will be sure to put it up here and also down in the description box below, so you can get to know him a little bit better. He needs to be in a new video soon, maybe like a little update video with him. He thinks it's really cool that I do this, and he's not accustomed to it. He's not used to it. He doesn't really like attention, but he likes you guys. He thinks you're really awesome. He loves your comments, and he loves to see all of your support on my stuff. Are you and Austin going to make music together? Yes. Yes, we are. In all of the time that we've been together of 2 years, we have not done a collaboration together, but we have talked about it consistently. It's so hard when you're in a relationship with distance. I don't call it a long distance relationship, because we see each other once a week, and he only lives an hour away. But with an hour distance and our crazy busy lives, it takes away the time that we can spend together. So we only see each other, like I said, like once a week, occasionally twice a week. So with relationships with distance, they're challenging, because you're just not able to do all of the things that you want to do with the person. There's just never enough time. You know, even when we do get time together, it's like a 3-hour span, so it's hard to do things. But the answer to that question is yes. We are definitely planning on it. And eventually, when he lives here, We have talked about doing live gigs as well at like coffee shops and breweries and things. He does that with the band that he's in right now, and he really enjoys it. And every time I go to one of his shows, I'm like, he and I need to be doing this together. Because it would look so freaking cool to have a vocalist and an upright bassist. I mean, he plays other instruments as well, but the upright bass looks so cool. I think it would be really fun to like perform again. I miss singing a lot. If I was doing that on a more regular basis, it would be very fulfilling. Is Austin going to move in? Yes, eventually. That's the goal. And I don't know if he's gonna move in here. We're basically going to have to move in at a new place together because he has 2 cats and my grandma is severely allergic to cats, and that's why he's not here right now. If she wasn't allergic to cats, he would have already moved in and this would have already like been a thing. Now, obviously, I'm not going to bring in 2 cats into her space when she already suffers with crazy allergies. That would just make things a lot worse. It's hard to make any concrete, solid plans right now. Future baby talks with Austin. Oh, we have had many of those. It's just a different world than when I had my kids. Like, the economy is absolute crap, and there's so much to think about, but the financial piece is probably number one. As much as I want another baby, and I have yearned for one and I have longed for one for such a long time, I can recognize that it would be pretty selfish for me to bring another child into this world when I'm struggling financially. I don't think it's the wisest decision to make. And so as of now, it's a no. But I don't know what the future holds. I also feel like I'm getting up there in age, and I know women have babies in their 40s all the time and stuff, but I don't know if I could do it. Pregnancy was really, really tough for me, and postpartum was really tough for me. So there's just so many factors that I never thought about the first 2 times. I was like, yeah, I want a baby, let's do it. I mean, Eden was a surprise, but with Jude, we were like, yeah, let's just do it. And you really don't think about the severity of a decision like that until later, I feel, when you have kids young. At least that was me. I didn't like fully think through it. I was just like, I'm a very spontaneous person. So I was like, let's just do it. Woohoo. And I'm still very spontaneous, but Austin is very, very logical and very much a planner. And so he like grounds me and brings me back down to earth. And that's one of the reasons I love him. The last question is, do you have any plans for marriage? And once again, the answer is yes. We have decided that we are going to be engaged and living together by this time next year. So 1 more year of this relationship with distance. And I could not be happier. I'm really excited. Distance is very tough. And for those of you in a actual long distance relationship where you're like continents away from each other, oh my gosh. I don't know how you do it. I mean, I feel like the time kind of accrues to the same when you spend 3 hours with each other once a week versus having a long distance relationship and then you like see each other for like 2 or 3 weeks at a time and you spend all the time with each other. It's tough. So all of you going through it, I feel you. It is getting really dark. I'm going to have to stop this video now. But thank you for being here. I miss you guys, and I have content that is coming. I've been making some vlogs. I have a little music thingamajig with Austin coming soon when we can film it. And Walmart try on, and a couple other things. I really want to be more consistent on here, but I am working like 3.5 jobs. I mean, I'm working a lot. So I feel like my life is constant, just trying to survive. Just trying to breathe and take it day by day. That's what I'm trying to do. That's all you can do, right? It was so great hanging out with you guys. Thanks for being here with me. I will see you all in my next video.
It keeps pulling me back